Hi everyone. Thanks to anyone who's tuning in right now. I'm starting off by joining with my fellow leaders in Social Democrats USA and answering some questions to tell people more about what I'm about. And I hope that you'll respond with your comments about social democracy too. I'll just run through the questions. And as I mentioned in the description, my comrades whose interviews I've been watching, they all got interviewed on the spot. I had a chance to watch the interviews, to think about the questions. So I've had more time to think about it than they did. So first of all, what's my name? My name is Susan Stevens. My age is 61. My location is Kansas City, Missouri. My position on Social Democrats USA's national committee is an at-large member, um, and my job, how I earn a living, is I give English lessons via the internet from home. Um, what is social democracy to me? I see it as everything that we're doing to make it a reality. What Abe Lincoln said about America being a government of the people, for the people, by the people. Basically, the more the greater the power the majority of us has to have a voice to make the decisions about the things that pertain to our lives. Um, as far as what policy is most important to me right now, I'm I would say currently I'm just very absorbed with housing policy that seems to be impacting me a lot and a lot of people I know, that the housing costs are going up, and a lot more and more people cannot afford housing. Um, do I think social democracy is possible? Yes. Why so? Um, because it's just really, I think more and more of us are seeing how much we really, um, how there are more of us than there are of them. All of our common interests, and you know and the importance of us getting together and organizing. Um, what is the misconception about SDUSA that I would like to clear up? Yes, I would like to clear up the idea that somehow social democracy or a social democrat is kind of like um, the type of person that Martin Luther King referred to as the white moderate in his letter to Birmingham jail, where he talks about the type of person that's just always wanting incremental change, natural kind of evolution. Um, that we can't do anything radical when we see radical injustice, that we could not do anything like to try to make change now. And I strongly disagree with that. And I believe that the early founders of the social democracy movement here were also willing to speak up against injustice, like Eugene V. Debs, um, and many others. And What political trends are the most worrisome? And I would say basically just all the political trends stemming from the belief that it is okay for people to try to make a profit off of the needs and hardships of others. You know, as is happening in our housing crisis right now, healthcare, so many other things. It's the idea that it's okay to profit, well, off of the suffering of others, off of the needs of others. And yeah, that leads to all kinds of horrible offshoots of that, such as the fascist regime that we currently have in office right now. What's most encouraging? I think just what's most encouraging is that there are so many of us who are now seeing that we're starting to see ourselves as directly impacted by who we elect. I think there was a time, like, of my growing up white middle class myself, where I didn't see a big connection between who got elected into office and how my everyday life was affected. And I think more and more of us are seeing that now. Yes, we're all impacted, and so that's encouraging because it means we're more inclined to get involved. Um, how do I think SDUSA should play a role in broader social democratic party? I mean, I'm thinking he means the Democratic Party. Um, yeah, I think that we should get behind candidates that espouse our values, whether they're running on the Democratic ticket or working families, like say in New York, or whether they're running on the Democratic ticket or not. We should get behind and support, campaign for. We can't, as an organization, we cannot give financial support as an organization, but we can do it individually, and we can also campaign, knock doors, endorse, as we can endorse as an organization. And we should keep on doing that as we have been. Where do I see American politics heading over the next decade? Mm, well, I mean, I think it can go a lot of different directions, but mainly if we keep if this awakening continues, that's kind of, I'd like to think on the positive, that the awakening will continue and that more of us will get involved, will organize, will vote, but we won't just depend on voting. We will organize to make changes at the grassroots level too, where necessary. Um, what is an at-large member to me? Well, it's somebody who is involved with the organization, helps helps shape our organizational policies, um, helps shape where the statements that we make on issues and just the direction that we go in. Um, you see, is there any way that I would expand my role if we got more members in Kansas City? Um, I know if we started having local people in my city joining, I'd want to be involved with meetings, and I'd also want to be a leader that that helps elevate other leaders, because I think, as I'm not the first person who said it, real leaders make more leaders. And so yeah, I would be happy to engage with other social democrats here in the city too, and also promote them into leading in the ways that they are led to lead. Could I give an example of a time that I influenced a major decision? I'm not thinking of one specific time, but I think that as I have grown in my understanding of, first of all, I grew to understand Israeli Israeli apartheid system, um, and then I've also grown more to understand about what's happening with the horrible genocide that's occurring in Gaza. And I know I always pronounce that wrong. I'm sorry about that, but um, yeah, I feel like I've helped influence our statements and our direction on condemning genocide. And how do I gather feedback about the organization? I listen to what people have to say about it. That a lot of the comments are mostly online. I read comments on the articles I write, on the comments other people, those of us that write for the blog. I try to follow all that as much as I can, and just learn what people think through interacting with them and listening to them. Um, how does this role fit into my day-to-day activities? Well, I'm a social democrat everywhere I am, everywhere I go. Um, yeah, I'm very active currently, and I expect to be the rest of my life within my city's tenant union, my citywide tenant union, and involved in working for um, um, how safe, as we say with our slogan, safe, accessible, and truly affordable homes for everyone. What are some of the pros and cons of the organization? Um, I would say the pros are um, how welcoming we are, and we do on our blog. We allow a wide range of opinions, they have to, as long as they fit within the spectrum of social democracy. I mean, yeah, so and that's a pretty big tent. Um, what and then as far as the cons of the organization, I can't really think of just cons of the organization. I think areas to improve, you know, would be I think and this is often true with many organizations. I like it when people say straight up to whatever group you're in, to the group, if there are problems, if there are things, rather than so I would say this about any group I'm in. I'd rather see more upfront communication with everyone, not hear a side communication, that somebody's not happy about something, but it's not coming directly from them to us. It's just talking side conversations. So I wouldn't say that SDUSA is unique as far as having those, because I think they're a part of, they've been a part of every organization I've been a part of. Um, and I would just say, yeah, I'd like to move away from side conversations and have more direct conversations if somebody's unhappy about something, and then what are some reforms I would like to see in the org? Um, hmm, that's I think maybe just I love the way that I know especially Moses has been working to get more more encourage more new member involvement, encouraging people to attend the national executive committee meetings, and to write and to be, and I think that that's really valuable when people join and they get to get engaged and involved in decisions and get to be a part of shaping the organization. So yes, I would like to see more of that. And yeah, I think I answered all the questions. Thank you, anybody who listened. Again, I hope to see your comments in the comments, and love to get in a dialogue with people about social democracy, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday. Thank you so much.